Hello and welcome back to everybody on the Recipe and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And yeah, it's a big episode of NXT this week because we've got the last episode before Vengeance Day coming up this weekend, and we've featured some big matches, including the one that kicked us off this week, Bayley against Cora Jade. Even though Jade and Roxanne Perez are no longer BFFs, Bayley and Jade still have unresolved issues. This felt like a personal fight from the moment they made contact. It was less about proving who the better wrestler was and more making sure they hurt each other. Neither competitor had a long time in the driver's seat, so it felt like a very competitive fight. Bayley obviously had the significant experience advantage, but Jade is no longer a rookie who's afraid of her mentor, so it felt even. Jade had a slight advantage in speed, but Bayley had it beat in the power department. The role model hit her usual moves, but she was distracted by Paris, who came out to Bayley's old music and dressed in her old gear. The former hugger went after the fake hugger, but Jade seized the opportunity and dropped Bayley with a DDT to score the pin and the win. Not only was it a strong performance, it was very surprisingly good. It was a big win for Jade, and it announced that she'd be added to the Vengeance Day title match. And that obviously adds multiple storyline elements into that match. So yeah, definitely in favourite. I'll give it 6 out of 10. Femi then came out to be interviewed with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, but ended up turning into an argument between the tag partners. Waller and Theory ended up attacking Femi, but pretending they were going to fight. Both men hit the champ with their finishes to end the segment, and yeah, somehow don't think it will last at the weekend, but that'll be then. Next up was a triple threat tag match with Hank and Tank, Josh Briggs and Inmora and Mars Bourne and Tavian Heights competing. It's not officially for a title shot, but commentators made it clear Ava and Fraxian were watching. Inmora was the first competitor to get in any kind of significant offense, but it didn't last long. This was a fast-paced match right out the gate. All three teams did a good job, looking like it mattered to them, especially since most of these guys are still waiting for their first title. Hank and Tank were a two-man wrecking crew before the break, and this contest had moments when it was hard to remember who was legal because so much was going on, but the announcers did a good job keeping it straight. Briggs and Mora scored the victory as the tag champs looked on the crow's nest. Fraxian congratulated them and agreed to face them at Vengeance Day. I thought this was a good match, so I think that could be an interesting team going forward as well. He looks like a good start in Morris, so yeah, very intrigued to see where it goes. 6 out of 10. Fandango, representing TNA as JDC, then challenged Lexis King for the Heritage Cup, which was not being contested under the new rules King put in place. This was now just another one-fall match, which Booker T favoured. The contest had a steady pace and saw both men control at different times. King had the upper hand a bit more often, but JDC gave him a good fight and used his old top rope leg drop, which won him his debut against Chris Jericho, but it was only a 2 count this time. King tripped him and went back into the top rope to set him up for the coronation. King retained the Heritage Cup in a decent but uneventful match. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Yeah, it was there. Just kind of felt like I could have taken more advantage from it, but in the end, they didn't. It was just very down the road an average, really, so I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Moving on then, as two of the most powerful women in NXT did battle when Nikita Lyons took on Saraya. While they used different styles of offense, they were relatively even matched. Lyons seemed to have the upper hand until Saraya uncorked a German suplex to throw her across the ring. Saraya battled through Lyons' best before hitting her version of an F5 to get the pin and the win. Whilst the energy in the bout was high, it didn't last long enough to be much more than a quick exhibition. So yeah, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Yeah, it was fine, but yeah, just feel like the quality of both of these women could have been added a bit more. Trent Williams then gave an interview about his upcoming strap match against Eddie Thorpe before the main event came out for the North American Championship. But what happened next caught everyone off guard. Ricky Starks arrived in the crowd and the fans chanted his name. Yeah, incredible. Did not see this coming, but coming on NXT so soon after his release was a big shock. But I think, kind of without disrupting the WrestleMania plans, if you can have a short run in NXT, then yeah, definitely sets them up well. But yeah, Ricky Starks in WWE, so hyped he's just back on TV in general, and yeah, hopefully in a place he's going to be used often. Yeah, can't wait to see what he has to have in store, and yeah, a huge pop. But after a break, Holland was out first for his match against Tony G. The former Brawling Brute took control early and dominated for the champion through the break. He used occasion to inflict extra damage, but most of it came from Holland's offense. The challenger came close to winning several times before the Don began making a comeback. Holland ended up taking a crowbar from Izzy Dame and used it to attack his opponent, but only got 2. D'Angelo then used a crowbar against Holland before hitting a big spine buster for the win. A hard-hitting match, but it wasn't about its falls. Dame ended up turning on the front when Sean Spears and his cronies showed up, so it looked like we now have 2 feuding greats with early numbers moving forward. Yeah, I think that could be an interesting story and a way to end a match that probably over-delivered based on what I was expecting, and yeah, an intriguing story coming out of it. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Overall, NXT this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a pretty solid episode of NXT this week. Obviously highlighted by the debut of Ricky Starks. Can't wait to see what he's going to do on the brand. But yeah, on the whole, pretty decent. Really enjoyed the main event and some interesting matches leading up to it. And yeah, an intriguing looking pay-per-view card this weekend.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.